Well, it's been a little bit, but anyway, we're back again. HWDA Thomas in the atmosphere. So this one's on pivot, and you got to pivot in your life. What do I mean by pivot? You got to be able to make a change. If you're not where you want to be, you got to pivot. This whole coronavirus thing, businesses and people and your primetime players, you got to pivot. You're going one direction and you got to find out you got to go in another direction. It's all about reinventing yourself. It's all about learning new skills. It's all about, well, we've done it this way for 500 years. My grandmother did it this way. Microsoft did it this way. You don't understand. 1865, Wells Fargo, we've done it like this. We're always going to do it like this. Well, sometimes if you're unwilling to change, unwilling to grow, unwilling to pivot, you're done. There's you're in a job and the technology changes and you get mad at the God, and you get mad at your life, and you say, well, it's this person's fault, and it's Joe Biden's fault, and it's God's fault, and it's my mama's fault, and you don't know what my past has been, and you don't understand me. That may all be true. That may all be the way it is. But the bottom line is you got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to make a move, kind of like a running back when they're going for that certain number 4 hole or whatever they call it between the other players on the team, and they're going to move in there, and then they're going to get their head ripped off, and things are moving fast. You got to be able to pivot. You've got kids, and let's say some of them have special needs, and let's say some of them got to go here, and let's say some of them got to go there, and let's say some of them need this particular tutor, need this particular activity, and need that. You got to be able to pivot. It's not all about, I'm not going to do it because I haven't done it this way before, and it's never been this way before. You got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to move, because if you don't, if you just stick your head in the sand, if you just say, well, I'm not going to change, boom, you're gone. You have to be able to, top people do this kind of thing. People who go from one peak to the next peak to the next peak, like my beautiful man, Brad Wolgamont, the former double diamond in the Amway business. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That brother was and it's still a bad dude. He was in a top business, and he was a top guy, and he's still a top guy. But you know what? He's doing something else now. He's affecting people's lives in another way. Because why? He was able to pivot. You can't tread water forever, and things change. Technology changes. Look at all the beautiful technology changes. But just look at all the companies that some of them were able to move and change and grow, and some of them weren't willing to do that. Some of them didn't want to do that. Some of them didn't do that. And boom, you're gone. So all I'm saying here is be willing to pivot. You may be going to a certain church, and you may be plugging into certain information. And you know what? You got to be able to pivot. You have a business, and the business has been going on hunky-dory for a long time. And then again, Microsoft or the new Microsoft or Jay-Z or somebody comes in, changes the industry. Got to be able to pivot. You've got, there's people who've had jobs for years, and, it was the old go to school, get a good education to get a good what? To get a good job. Those days are pretty much gone, and if they're not 100% gone, I'm sure they pretty will be. Companies changing all the time. A lot of people going to college to come out of an industry, and the education they get, they don't even use that degree that they have. It's good that they got it. They had the stick-to-itiveness. They had the discipline, but you got to be able to pivot. Technology is changing so rapid. If you go back 5 years ago, if you go back 10 years ago, if you go back 20 years ago, just imagine if you go back 6 months ago. A lot of times people will buy electronics and things, and pretty soon they're already out of date. So what I'm telling you is be flexible. What I'm telling you, as far as being able to go a different direction. If you're not able to pivot, and if you're not going to change, if you're not going to grow, you're just not going to make it. So this is A. Thomas at the HWD Atmosphere. I'm all done. Make it a great day. You guys are fantastic. You can, if you think you can. And let's keep the beautiful communication open. Let's keep the love coming back and forth. Let's have the suggestions. You guys are amazing. And here's the email. Avalier88 at iCloud.com. Again, 88 Avalier at iCloud.com. AVALIR 88 at iCloud, ICLOUD. You guys are amazing. Get her done. And remember, the only thing that's impossible, when people say something's impossible, it's merely just an opinion. I'm out.